Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Critic Alex, and today I want to do something I've never done before on any channel for any game, which is reveal in detail how much money I've spent on a mobile game. And there's various reasons why I haven't done this in things like Marvel Future Fight, but I wanted to do it in this game because I want to have a bit of a different conversation about monetization and about spending money, because this is a gacha-based game. And I know that it can lead some people into a pretty dark spiral of spending to get them all, to catch them all. But before we get into the actual conversation, two things here. One, the boss battles are actually half off. There's a half off event right now. Oh no, I have 18 minutes. Okay, I gotta hurry up and do this. Anyways, there's a half off event for the boss battles, so now is the time to farm for Chalices. You should be farming for Extreme on any stage that you have available that you can do consistently. You want to get as many of these as possible. For Sexcanor, you need to get 18 of these. 18 of those, or you need to get, less of these. But for every one that you're missing of these, you're going to need 6 of these. He needs Water of Life because he's one of the 7 deadly sins. So make sure that you have enough. You actually need more. You need 21 of these because you need 18 to convert to 3 of the 6-star cups, Chalices, and then you need 3 to get him to 5-star awakening. So make sure you have enough cups to awaken, or Chalices, to awaken Sexcanor. And as an added tip here, I've said this in other videos, but I'll say it again. If you can autoplay multiple boss battles on Extreme, my suggestion to you is to see what other rewards you need, because all of these boss battles will drop awakening materials. So go into the boss battle, go into Extreme, and then check your inventory to see how much of these items you have. These ones down here. So for example, I've got 97. I've got 130. So I am very stocked on these ones in particular. I don't need to run the Crystal Cave at all, but I actually do need to run 4, 5, and 6 a lot more, because those materials I have actually a lot less of: Crimson Earth, Forest of the Mountain God, and Source of the Corruption. So yeah, if you can only do the easiest one, then definitely do that one. If you can do multiple ones, you should spread your time and your energy evenly so that you get as much awakening materials, because the drop rate for Chalices is basically the same for all of them. Now, the second thing is I'm not actually going to reveal how much I've spent yet. I will reveal it towards the end of the video, but I obviously want you guys to watch the whole thing because watch time, YouTube algorithm, etc. Also, I want you to try and guess, okay? My account doesn't seem to be that blubbery, but I would probably be called a whale given that the game has been out for less than 2 months. It's like 6 weeks, and I've already spent in the triple digits or more. Triple or 3 or 4 digits worth of purchases. I know that's a large... Oh, I wish I could play with you, Psycho Sensei, but I can't. It's a large gap there. It could be, $100 all the way up to $9.99. But yeah, I am still missing quite a few characters. So let's talk about what I've done and the decisions I've made, because although I am a high spending player and I have content to make, I have channels, so the revenue from the stuff that I talk about and I make sort of feeds back into the game. I do have that luxury. On the other hand, I do think I'm different than other whales, and I'm not trying to throw shade at other whales. There's obviously different types of whales. There's humpback whales, there's blue whales, there's orcas, there's killer whales. Or I think orcas and killer whales are the same. But anyways, there's different types of whales. I feel like I am more of a pragmatic whale in the sense that, well, at times I can be pragmatic. But I think in the sense that I will overspend for certain things and underspend for other things, rather than being a consistent spender throughout. So I wanted to sort of highlight that difference. Whereas, someone like Seaton is going to pay a lot of money and spend a lot of cash going through and trying to collect every character. As you can see, I haven't gotten every character. Now, part of that is bad luck. Part of that is sort of strategic spending. So I have spent more than Seaton in certain areas of the game because I have spent less in other areas. So for example, right off the bat, I skipped the Red Merlin banner. I skipped the Red Merlin banner because every information and every person I spoke to led me to believe that she just wasn't a sort of key character. And I think that it's important to, when you're spending in a game like this, is to identify the key characters that you cannot live without. So obviously Sexcanor is one of those characters. I will go broke pulling for him if I get that unlucky. Hopefully I don't, but I will. So you sort of make that distinction, and it's important to make those distinctions because then you don't fall into the trap, or you're less likely to fall into the trap of needing to get every single character. Now, the same thing went for the Hellbrum banner. I skipped it because, again, he's a strong character, but I just felt like he wasn't a crucial piece of my roster, and I also knew that I could get him later on in other banners or other sort of events. So he wasn't going to be as rare as certain other characters. Same thing goes with Demon Melee. So there's actually already been 3 banners. One is... or he just ended actually, But three banners over the life of the game already that I've just said said a hard no to. I actually did one sort of joke pull on Demon Melly to see if I'd get him in one try, but I didn't, so I just left it. You know, some of those characters are coin shop characters like Demon Melly. Some of those characters are just not that important. You know, a lot of people will compare Red Merlin to Green Gustav, and, you know, they're going to do the same thing for Red Demon, so you don't need both. So I try to make those sort of cost-benefit analyses. I'm not saying that I am the most efficient whale ever. No, I will be soon telling you about money that I spent incorrectly. But when it comes to things like this, and when it comes to more dangerous risks, in terms of your money may not be giving you what you want, I try to calculate that and sort of, you know, wage and measure and count how much satisfaction I'm going to get out of that versus how much money I am spending. So I didn't really see much satisfaction in these characters down here. Obviously, Gother was the exception. I got bullied, but the satisfaction that I've got from using Gother has outweighed the, like, $200 or $250 that I spent specifically on Gother and his banner. So, yeah. And then I just got unlucky not pulling some of these other SSRs here. But yeah, this is what the account looks like. Almost 900,000 combat class. I don't have any full SSR gears yet, but I do have quite a few maxed out SSR rare gear sets. Actually, they're not even maxed out. They're almost maxed out. But I have a few, I believe I have 4 or 5. Because I have some crit rate or some crit damage as well as some attack defense ones. When I get to them, Jericho, where are you? Green King, where are you? There we go. But yeah, we're not talking anything too crazy. I think it's also important to point out cosmetics. I've spent quite a few 100 diamonds getting cosmetics for characters. So if you take a look at Elizabeth, I've got all 5 registered outfits, I've got all 5 registered weapons, and I've got 5 registered cosmetics. Now, it's a bit misleading. Outfits are usually more free to play because it's from evolving heroes, and if you have the full roster, you can get most outfits by just evolving all of the characters. You know, all versions of this. We've got red, green, and blue. Weapons is similar, but you will also find a lot of pop-up shop for 20 diamonds and fight festival weapons, so that doesn't require as many. But the cosmetics are really the ones that are going to hurt you the most. Some of these are affinity cosmetics, like I believe that one is affinity cosmetic and that one. But this one I spent money for, diamonds for, 30 diamonds for that one as well, I believe. And maybe that one I didn't. But yeah, cosmetics rack up the cost. And because I love PvP so much, I did spend a lot on cosmetics. You know, blue cosmetics for him, blue cosmetics there for the weapons. Same thing with Green Merlin. Now, going into, so those are sort of ways that I try to minimize my spending by identifying characters that I don't need in advance of their banners, and then just staying away through self-control and focusing on another character, focusing on something else. Where did I go wrong? Where did I spend too much money? Well, I probably, just straight off the bat, I probably shouldn't have spent like $250 on Gother because he is a coin shop character. So that logic of Red Helbram and other characters, you know, going into other banners or going into the coin shop or whatever, not being essential. He is essential. He's an essential cogpiece, unlike Red Merlin, unlike Red Helbram, but he is so easily and so readily available. I just needed to wait. It's just a waiting game. But I think, you know, my own impatience, coupled with the fact that I make content, YouTube content, coupled with the fact that I stream and players want to see these high-level teams and these sort of meta builds, led me to actually be getting Gother instead of waiting. Some other mistakes that I made, not right now, DVM. Some other mistakes that I made were purchasing Awakening bundles in the store. So I'll show you guys now what I purchased and why. So I did spend most of my money that I spent on the game buying the subscriptions, the weekly and monthly diamond subscriptions, as well as the rank up bundles. You can see I'm on rank up bundle number 4, which means that I've purchased rank up bundle 1, 2, and 3. I purchased those in order to pull, in order to have more diamonds to pull for Green Bond, Green Adventurer Bond, and Green Merlin. So those were in the process of making videos, so that sort of justifies the cost in some small way. But I also did pick up, I believe, Green King when his deal was in the store for $50, so that was a little bit of a waste in my opinion. I probably shouldn't have done that. Green King now really only does Gray Demon for me on my roster, and I definitely could have made do with some of my other greens, because I'm pretty sure I pulled Jericho pretty early on, so I think I could have made do with her, but I sort of wanted to do what everyone else was doing with Green King, and I also had that video where I went for Green King and I got Fart King like 5 times, so that was a situation where I was upset, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed, right? And so I ended up spending more than I wanted to. I did get 50 diamonds along with that, but yeah, I don't think that was worth it. Another purchase that I made that I think now I shouldn't have made, it was one of these starter bundles, but it was for Green King. Another purchase that I made that I don't really see much value in now is the Awakening Stone equipment bundle upgrade. I probably bought this 5 times, so you can see that's like $150 right there. I bought it obviously for the Awakening Stones. I was just trying to push my SSR gear up as fast as possible. Now, of course, you can speed up getting SSR gear maxed out this way, but there's always another way of doing things. You can obviously salvage gear and then combine 4-star up to 5-star. You can spend gold. You can auto farm a lot of gold and then open up the equipment chest like I made in another video. So there were actually a lot of other avenues, but it was a combination of, I guess, laziness on my part and also just that itch to catch up to other players that were doing it, especially for PvP. I was still doing a lot of geared PvP early on, and I felt like I was at a huge disadvantage because I was only at, like 105, 110,000 CC, and I was facing opponents at 120, 130 already with just, 3 weeks, a month into the game. And of course, cosmetics played a big part of that. And I probably could have saved a lot of money buying cosmetics instead of buying this, but I ended up buying this quite a few times. And now, I mean, not that I have a huge surplus of them, I only have 5, but now I just don't see the value in this anymore, especially considering I'm still going to need diamonds for characters and other things. So yeah, steer clear of that. Pretty much steer clear of everything here. The value of this is going to keep decreasing as global sort of enters every month. So as time passes, this basically loses value more and more, because as I become more and more of a veteran player, I'm going to get access to more and more of these stones. I'm getting them from Knighthood Boss, I'm getting them from the Knighthood shop or from the Fight Festival shop. There's so many ways to get them now, not to mention with better characters, level 70, level 75 farm teams, you can farm SSR gear faster, you can salvage it faster, so you just sort of ramp that up. So it's really only, these sorts of bundles are really to take advantage of players who are, really impatient and don't want to wait, but also at the very beginning of global where these are so hard to get, these packs do seem a lot more appealing. Or if you're just a new player, they do seem really appealing. Like, wow, I can upgrade one SSR gear all the way up to 5 stars. Sure you can, but is it worth it? You got 3 pieces of SSR gear, you're talking about like $100 to upgrade one character's left side gear. It's not really worth it. So that was something that I sort of regret purchasing after the fact. I think I also purchased one hero bundle at one point because I wanted pendants. This was also a pretty bad purchase because there's no diamonds here. Don't do this. So steer clear of these. I've held myself off and not purchased any of these limit break bundles because I've been able to farm up enough ears. But yeah, definitely the King bundle and the equipment upgrade bundle too were my biggest regrets in terms of purchases. The stamina booster weekly subscription is not bad. I purchased this once. I don't know if I'd purchase it again because I have quite a lot and I never seem to run out. But, if you're someone who farms a lot and doesn't pull a lot because you're saving, it might be a decent option now. This is obviously so bad. Stay away from this. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my account given how much I've spent. I obviously would love to have every character unlocked. So I'm a little bit irritated when I see people who have spent about as much as me but have every character unlocked. So I think maybe if I had spent less money, for example, Awakening Gear, and if I'd spent a little bit more money pulling, like if I hadn't skipped all 3 of these banners, I probably would have at least one of these characters, maybe one of these other characters just by coincidence or by proxy from doing so many pulls, so many guaranteed SSRs. But on the flip side, I do have quite a few coins from the coin shop, and I've already used... Have I used any platinum coins? Maybe I haven't. I've used them to upgrade characters' alts, but I haven't actually used any of them yet. So I'm waiting for characters that I want here to arrive. But I do have a lot, and I do have a lot of these as well, even though I bought Housers. So yeah, it is what it is. So you've watched the whole video, and you have a number in your head of how much I've purchased. I didn't actually sit down and calculate it since the last time, but I calculated it before the Gother escapades, and I was at $650. So I would estimate with about $250 in Gother, I'm probably very close to $1,000 spent already. It's probably anywhere from like $950 to $1,100, somewhere around that. But I haven't made that many new purchases since Gother, besides those sort of weekly bundles that you get for diamonds, just to pump myself up for the god Sexcanor. So it is pretty difficult as a content creator to let you guys know how much I've spent, just because it's not really something that the community is always welcome and sort of wanting to hear. Sometimes it's followed up by negative conversations and negative associations, like you spend so much money, but this and that, blah blah blah, you're a whale, you know, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's a bit hard for me, but thanks for listening. And maybe some of what I said can help in some way for your spending or lack of spending. If you want to, you know, save up, have some patience, wait for some new characters, stuff like that. So I wish these arrows, I wish these icons, these little exclamation mark icons would just go away forever. If there was a $9.99 deal, $9.99 deal to get those to go away, I would probably buy it. Anywho, let me know what you think of my probably $1,000 account tour. Hit me up in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.